Let's talk about the best pickup line in the whole world. Do you want to know a pickup line that you can use at any time, anywhere? One that is sure to help you stand out from the crowd and help her notice that you're different from all the other guys in a really, really good way. In this video, not only am I going to be sharing this line with you, but we're also going to be talking about where pickup lines can go wrong and why it can be really awkward instead of flirty and fun and increase her interest in you. And I may or may not actually be sharing two of my favorite pickup lines in this video, so make sure you pay close attention. Okay, first things first, whether you're talking about pickup lines or flirting or anything else, when it comes to dating and relationships, the number one most important thing you always have to ask yourself is, what kind of girl do you want to attract, and what kind of relationship are you wanting? Far too many really good people are failing in love and thinking something is wrong with them, when in reality, it's just that they're using the wrong tactics, the strategies that will not get them the kind of love they want. For instance, there are a lot of pickup lines out there that will get attention of a certain kind of girl, but not a girl who wants a lasting, loving relationship, a girl who has integrity and is looking for a man of integrity. And when you're using those wrong lines, well, that's what's setting you up to fail. That just makes sense, right? So what I'm going to be sharing with you is how to attract and capture the attention of a girl who has integrity, who wants to be loyal, and who's looking for that forever love. So if that's what you're looking for, make sure you stay tuned. And by the way, if this is your first time watching, my name is Melannie. I'm a Christian dating coach for men and your go-to source for a loving, lasting relationship. No mind games, no tricks here. So this leads us to mistake number one with pickup lines. Yes, I'm getting to the best line, but we gotta explain some things first so that this line makes sense, okay? Mistake number one is being too silly or goofy. Now, if you have been watching me for a while, especially if you watch to the end and see my bloopers, you know that I don't think there's anything wrong with being a little bit silly and goofy. However, sometimes, especially with pickup lines, it just comes across as immature and it's uncomfortable. The best way to explain this is try to think about it from her perspective. If somebody comes up and says something really, really like cheesy and like dorky, it can make her feel really uncomfortable. Her first impression of you is, like, that's not the first impression you want. And here's a good way to illustrate it. An example of a pickup line that's really cheesy is, hey, I lost my number. Can I have yours? So funny. It just kind of makes the atmosphere uncomfortable. However, you can still be lighthearted. You can still be playful. For instance, you could say something like, hey, I noticed you across the room and I kept trying to think of something clever to say so I could come over, and I didn't come up with anything, so I just decided to come say hi. That's playful, it's lighthearted, and it's super sexy because it shows you're confident, it shows you're playful, but it also shows that you're a mature adult who wants to have a mature conversation instead of a little, high school boy trying to approach this woman. It just doesn't work. Now, mistake number two when it comes to pickup lines is trying to make it too sexy. If you're trying to make it sound a little too steamy and suggestive, well, yeah, that might get the attention of a woman who wants a fling, or it might get the attention of a woman who's toxic. But if she's a good girl, if she's trying to save herself for that one special man, if she is someone who has that integrity, that's going to scare her to death. This is part of what I mean by what kind of relationship do you want? What kind of girl do you want? Do you want a girl who's going to, listen to every guy who has a suggestive pickup line, or do you want a girl who has integrity? And so make sure that you're only using an approach that will attract the kind of woman who has that loyalty and feminine integrity. So what is this pickup line that you can use anywhere, that it works no matter the situation, and shows confidence? Let me explain this pickup line with a story. Several years ago, I was at the store, and there was a guy there that I could tell had noticed me, and I was having an off day. I was just ready to go home and eat some chocolate. You have those days too, right? And so I was just like, whatever. And so I was kind of trying to avoid talking to him, but I could see him approaching, and I had prepared myself, to put up like this wall of like, no, I'm just not doing this today. However, what he said made those walls completely crumble. He just walked up and looked me in the eye and he said, "Hey, how's it going?" And right there, I just felt understood. I felt heard. I felt like this was a real person who actually cared about me. He wasn't just trying to, flirt for the sake of flirting. I felt like we were two adults. And so actually the wall crumbled and we ended up having a nice conversation and everything instead. So sometimes it can be super easy to way overcomplicate things when we're trying to get somebody to think we're cute. But in reality, you want her to just be attracted to you, right? So consider using something as simple as, "Hey, how's it going?" Now, with that in mind, let's now talk about the third mistake people make with the approach and with pickup lines. You have to have something else to say after the pickup line. This is one of the biggest mistakes, because if you just say, "Hey, how's it going?" and she goes, "I'm good. How are you?" "Good." Like, now it's just going to get really awkward. So instead, make sure that you have something else to say. That's why when I teach in my academy, we go through absolutely every step so that you know exactly what to do. And a big part of it is just knowing how to have that small talk and how to create that connection past the pickup line. So do not just say nothing next, because if you do, even "Hey, how's it going?" is not going to work. And actually, this brings up a really good question. Would you like to know how to handle every part of attraction, from that exciting first glance to making her want to get to know you better and ultimately falling completely in love with you? Can you imagine the relief you would feel knowing and understanding the most effective strategies for every step, so that love doesn't have to feel stressful? It can feel fun and exciting and automatic. This is exactly what I walk you through in great detail in my academy. I go way more in depth than anything you see on my YouTube channel. And you also have the benefit of having all of this information from a woman's perspective, and it's a Christian-based approach. And so if that's something that's important to you, you need to make sure you're getting your strategies from the right mindset. So get started right now by watching my free masterclass, where you're going to learn insights about women that most men will never know, but have the power to transform your love life. Just go to coachmelanie.com/masterclass. There's a link in the description below and a link in the pinned comments. With that, let's just quickly recap the mistakes so that you can avoid making them. The first mistake is being too silly, trying to treat it all like a joke or too cheesy. It just, yes, sometimes it can work, but it has to be pulled off really well. Otherwise, it just makes it awkward. So it's usually best to avoid it if you can. The second mistake is being too suggestive or too sexy. That's not going to attract the right kind of girl. It's just not. Mistake number 3 is not having anything to say next. Oh, that makes things super, super awkward. Thank you so much for watching, my amazing friend. And I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to those of you who are so amazing in the super things. Thank you so much for supporting wholesome Christian content. It means so much to me. And make sure you watch that free masterclass. I can't wait to help you achieve your relationship goals as well. I'll see you over there. Okay, I do that sometimes when I'm thinking. Can you tell? Probably haven't noticed that yet. Okay. There I go again. It's not coming. I'm trying to think of a word, and I keep thinking of words I'm pretty sure I've already done. Okay, secret end of the video club. Thanks for being here. I'm finally starting to feel like better. I was scared to say it out loud, but I think I'm over the flu now. So that's good. So our word for the end of the video today is yay, because, you know, that's we're celebrating. Nobody wants to be sick. If they do, it's kind of weird, but, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Sometimes I crack myself up. Okay, actually, a lot of the time I do. I can't help it. I'm funny. I'm a very funny person. Should have my own sitcom. Would anybody watch that? I don't even know what it would be about. But it'd be funny. Okay. Bye.